Oh,
Welcome to the Backlog, episode number 7. I'm Joel. This is my brother, and we've been in this for quite some time. You've been in the gaming a lot longer than
hold
I have.
up, I got a name too.
Oh, Pablo Picasso over here.
Yeah, I was like, brother. That's it.
That's all you need.
No one's gonna know who I am.
Yeah.
My 3 viewers.
Nah, you got stalkers. They'll find you.
Okay, they'll find me. Know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the audio. I was like jamming.
Mm-hmm. Let me turn it down.
Something you kind of tapped on and you just kind of skimmed away, or was Test Suite.
Yeah.
And we're very unequipped to explain what this cartridge is, what it does, but it is a good way to tell for us what a TV or the quality of a TV is.
Yeah. So
somewhat.
The reason we got this was per recommendation of Mr. CRT, which I swear one day we'll bring on here. It seems like we keep talking about this. Who is this Mr. CRT guy?
Right. We're building up the suspense.
Okay.
Strategic.
So Mr. CRT, the reason he earned that name is because when we were looking for CRTs, we stumbled across him. That's a whole story. But his technicalities led us to buying this 240 test suite, which is basically a way to test your colors, your scrolls, your scan line. Well, not really scan line, more like just your.
It potentially your scan lines, but you use it as a baseline.
What's it called when your RGB lineup? Your convergence,
which is your whites.
Which is the big deal because your guns need to align every little spot in this. All of them need to match up exactly the same, or else you're going to have distortion or something that just looks off.
The 3 colors, red, blue, green, they're going to distort, and you're not going to get that true white, which comes off as a blurry effect.
And these TVs, they're at least 20 years old, right? What was the last one they came out? 2006. So, and there may have been a few others, but that's the latest I've seen. Yeah. And I think the newest one I have here is a 2006, maybe 2004, 2006.
The HDMI?
No, it's one of these.
Oh, the L5s.
Yeah, because it's towards the tail end, which is a big reason why we sought after these PVMs, is because towards the later years of the PVM history, those were the best years. And then they went extinct, and good luck right after that, because everybody was on the chase for flat screen. So there's a special look to CRTs that retro gaming has with them. You can't get that out of flat screen TVs. We've tried it, and it just looks god awful. And then there's also lag. So there's a lot of reasons why you don't want to play retro games with newer technology. It's meant for newer games or newer content.
Yeah, the media at the time took advantage of the hardware at the time. And I know it's a over-bloated topic, in my opinion, the scan lines.
Yeah.
Everybody's always looking for them, but in some sense, the game is designed to have them, and you could tell something's off once you're comparing a digital form on a flat screen versus an analog signal on a CRT.
Yeah.
The image is just different, and you can't tell until you see it with your own eyes.
Probably they are getting good. They're getting better.
They're getting better. Yes.
Like the stuff that they're coming out with now, it's that's kind of giving you the best of both worlds. But there's always nothing like playing off of a CRT. There's absolutely no lag. And you're getting it's a different style of picture. It's hard to explain, but I'm not going to say that they're crisper, because crispiness you actually get better from today's modern tech.
Yes.
It's
hard crispy.
It's not trying to be crispy. It's actually trying to blend in a certain way. It's just the right mixture. Yeah. But if you look closely, the high-end TVs have what they're called scan lines, which are basically, we interpret them as the black lines, but technically they're actually the colored lines. And that's something that it's an indicator that did you have a very high-end, high-definition
Mm-hmm.
CRT TV?
Yeah, what is it? The quality of light or the scan? I don't
Yeah.
really know, but
And this is where Mr. CRT comes in
yeah,
to break it down.
Yeah, we're barely a year or two in.
But even as a layman's terms, like this thing will help guide you to determine whether you have a good CRT, because it'll test your red separately, your green separately, your blue separately.
Yeah,
your
we use like maybe 3 to 4 functions of the damn thing, and that's good enough because I don't know how many times I just want a static screen, but it's fucking moving and it's hard to tell.
I check the grid, I check for scroll, I check convergence, and then I test the colors. And then the scroll. I don't know if I already mentioned that. The scrolling is important.
Yeah, you don't want the magic carve for waviness.
If you have a bad grid, then I got to step back. I got to break down like what is a grid. I know.
Yeah, nobody. Well, we can't assume the terminology is already known out there.
Yeah.
And then we need to break down what each thing means.
I mean, how would you describe it? Like almost like coordinates. You like on a digital TV, a pixel is getting exactly at this coordinate, these colors, and that's kind of what the grid is doing, like making sure you're.
Yes, you have a square evenly all over, and it's not being distorted at one location versus the other. Digital is just a line, but here it's light being spread out from one source.
Yeah,
and it has to make the illusion of a straight line.
Yeah, and we'll get into CRTs more. So we have tons of CRTs that we got going on here, and we've learned that sometimes when people try to do too much, like when in some of the later years they went with slimmer models to try to compete with the flat screens. Mm-hmm. Well, CRTs by physics are not designed to do that. They need to go a certain distance from where the gun is to have that right pinpoint. It's like a focus point. You bring it in too close, and you're going to get some blurriness.
Yeah.
But what a journey the CRTs have been.
I was about to say, to the point of this thing.
Yeah.
When we're searching for a TV to play retro games, I mean, we only noticed it ever so slight. 1, the lag. 2, the quality.
Yeah.
And once we addressed the lag and somewhat quality issues, this helped us kind of pinpoint a little bit better the quality issues with every TV.
The test suite is like you're getting serious about the quality of your CRT. You can buy almost any CRT off the streets and you're going to get a decent quality. But when you start honing in, this thing will help guide and tell you whether you're actually, like, it's just a baseline tool. It's measuring things for you that you can't, that are usually subject. And nowadays, like, you see a TV because of this test suite, you know, oh, those reds are vibrant. Oh, those that's a little off. Oh, you got some scrolling. It's because it kind of gave you the tools to understand
what teaches you what to look for.
Yeah, what's right, what's wrong.
Without like a ruler, a measure.
Yeah,
because that's what it is. Just kind of measures everything more or less.
Yeah, pretty neat tool though, man. That I know they have variations of these test suites, but it's nice to have it in the SNES form. You just throw it in your Super Nintendo, run it, and you should be able to get a good test right off the bat.
One thing you said, they're getting pretty close to emulating the scanline effect.
Yeah.
I think have to see it, the closest thing that probably gets to it is the 4K Upscaler, because it's able to kind of mimic the effect of a scan line.
But you'll still have lag.
You'll still have lag, but some TVs are good enough to where it minimizes lag.
Yeah.
I mean, when you play on this TV, you don't sense any lag. You don't pick up on it immediately.
Unless they play like a Mega Man game that is an NES Mega Man that is very specific on the timing.
Correct.
And then you'll notice that, oh yeah, I got some lag. And I'm sure you pick up on when you're trying to land certain moves or play like Smash Bros. I'm sure you feel like there's, hey, what the fuck? How come I didn't land that grab?
One thing, such a big deal once you have low latency. Something, when I was testing the capture card, something I noticed immediately was the lag, and I was like, "Oh, this fucking capture card is garbage."
Oh.
Well, what it did was since it didn't recognize the capture card as an HDMI device, it reverted back to game mode being off.
All right, so this weekend purchased the capture card.
Mm-hmm.
I tested it here. It didn't work, and the whole point of the capture card is to be able to record some of the gaming that we do off of anything on the flat screen, which
digital.
is going to be digital, like your Switch, your PS5,
everything past
what's the one?
Xbox. What do you call it again? Xbox everything.
But this week has been a bit of struggles with technicalities for us. The capture card was the first one. It didn't want to. It recorded the visual, but it didn't record the audio.
Man, I was in that day.
I was beat that day, and you were like, "We're gonna figure it out." Like, you're gonna figure it out.
Well, I was excited at first until I realized how much of a time dump it was.
Yeah,
and I mean, keep in mind, I had to work the next day, so I was like, I couldn't go past a certain limit. I was like, this fucking sucks. 2-3 hours just figuring out all the technicalities, and it still don't. And we didn't get audio, and
but you took it home, and you got it to work, kinda.
The PS5 for some reason didn't work. I'm pretty sure there's a Reddit article telling me, you fucking idiot, it's on 4K, downscale it to 1080p. Or you have a setting off or setting on.
It does seem like you have to do a lot of setting changes.
Yeah, and in the PC world, that's
normal.
Like you have to
spoiled, man.
Oh, just
I don't know
plug in, run it.
I don't know if I can make it in the PC world, you know. And for some people, that's like, oh, you're definitely not a true gamer.
Either you have this stupid amount of willpower to fucking game for some reason, like. That sounds dumb. To figure out settings and then game.
Yeah.
Or you've been guided into this world by some YouTuber or a personal friend that just does it for you and you're in it.
I would think like any craft, like once you build a computer and you play off of it and you go back to like standard issued consoles that you can purchase, you're probably never going to want to go back to, like, you always want to go back to your PC.
Spoiled.
And they're always going to be faster. They're always going to have more memory. They're always going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
Yes, kind of. That's an argument.
Yeah.
And what's his face tried to mimic or reproduce a PlayStation 5 PC.
Okay.
Like all the specs, what's his name? He's a tech reviewer.
Oh, I don't know.
But anyways, Litness Tech or something like that.
Okay, I think
the skinny dude with the gauges.
No, never mind. I think it was somebody else.
I'll show the video later. But anyways, he was trying to replicate all of the PS5's capabilities. And Mark Cerny, I think that's like the head lead engineer designer.
He's the one who did the video on the Pro, right?
He commented on his video saying that, hey, he did accomplish his goal, by the way. He made it equivalent or cheaper than the PS5 price point.
Okay. But
he did it off of used parts. Like, they are not full retail, like, this is a full retail board or a full retail casing or a full retail, what do you call it, a card.
Mm-hmm.
He used anything that he can find online for cheap, put it together, and make it a PS5.
Okay.
So that in itself took work.
That is an accomplishment.
But Mark Cerny commented, is like, hey, PS5 gives all that to you. Brand new with a warranty. And I don't think he said the warranty part, but it implies warranty
and
quality.
Okay. The fucking memory on the PlayStation is so frustrating. It is a lot, but it is not enough because
I forgot to add.
Okay, so
go.
What I was thinking about is like you can buy. Okay, what does the Pro come with? 2 terabytes.
struggling gamer moment.
2 terabytes.
Yes, 2. If not 1. It is 2 because mine's 1.
That sounds like a lot, right? Well, I'm already over. I'm probably close to 1.5 terabytes. I got Gran Turismo. The PS4 the games don't take too much, but just about I'd say 3-4 PS5 games that you want constantly. Yes, I barely got this thing.
You're at 1.5.
I'm already at like 75% capacity, maybe closer to 100 because it's not really a 2 terabyte thing. Okay.
That sucks.
And let's say that cost a PS5 Pro. Not the 30th anniversary, but just a regular one goes for maybe what, $600?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, 7.
Okay, 7.
Sorry.
And
generous.
If you buy 2 terabytes, you're looking at it's almost the rule of thumb right now in my head is like $100 per terabyte. And if you get them on sale, you get a better price. Mm-hmm. So if you get a 4 terabyte, which is what I would recommend, you're almost like buying another PlayStation. And I gotta say, like, is that the majority of the cost in building this thing?
Just upgrading your fucking storage?
Just storage alone in today's world is so expensive. And yes, it is a spoiling amount of memory.
Yes.
But
the games are fucking
we're giving
a terabyte itself.
Once again,
100 gigs for a game.
Once again, they're putting it on the customer to compensate for the additional requirements needed to play X amount of games. So you can play, I would say, comfortably 6 games, which if they're big, they should be enough. And this seems like a petty issue, but once you get to it and once you know what we're talking about, once you've ran a few games, you're like, what? I'm out of memory. I gotta archive it, or I gotta figure out something.
I gotta choose my favorites. I gotta go consider buying an external SSD.
So what do you have now? Like
I have 2 terabytes, which puts me at a total of 3.
Okay, and you can't add no more. You can't put another stick in there, right?
You have to. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this ain't shit. This is like buying. This is like getting a studio apartment.
Yeah.
Like this is enough for now.
Yeah.
But like a year or two, you're gonna be like regretting that choice.
I lost my job. Here's a couple $100. That'll get you through. That'll get you by the week.
What? So it's not a good long-term solution. All it's doing is it's getting me out of this little hole of I was so happy to have Street Fighter 6 finally digitally available whenever, because it is one of those games where I'm like, I just want to play a few matches. I haven't been able to do that because I'm like, well, this is a game I don't play frequently.
Yeah.
So archive it, dump it. Like, who gives a fuck? I got bigger games, bigger priorities. But now that I finally have it, I'm like, sweet. Didn't run it, but I was so happy to have it there.
The beauty about the Switch is that all your games are pretty much there, and if you run out, you go buy another memory stick, and you should be good enough. But with the PlayStation, it's so demanding.
Yeah.
And yes, fucking beautiful games.
Beautiful.
But it is taxing.
Gen.
It is taxing on your console. It takes up everything, and you're like I said, you're gonna have maybe in your carousel maybe like 6 good games, right? Mm-hmm. Like, how many games do you have on your PlayStation that you feel like I gotta have? I cannot archive these because it'll just tune me out.
Now it's Final Fantasy 7, Resident Evil 4. I would say like maybe a total of 6 that I don't want to get rid of.
Yeah.
Wukong is like digital exclusive, so I'm like, I gotta have it on there.
Did they come out physical?
I don't think so.
Not yet?
Not yet. Okay. They plan to at some point fucking make me buy the game twice. That's something, by the way, that a lot of developers or producers are kind of catching wind to. I can sell you the game fucking twice if I sell the digital version now. Like, you get it in a week or 2.
They did it with Marvel vs. Capcom. They released the digital, and then they came out a month later.
Did it with Metroid Prime. Fucking
no stranger to this.
No, not at all. And it's an excellent selling tactic because you want it now. You don't want to wait for us to do the logistics of distributing physical content. Okay, just buy it digitally. And then, but you still want such a fucked up situation. Yes, you're going to buy a digital, and if you're a fan, yes, you're going to buy the physical because you want it physically.
Yeah.
And then all the Marvel versus Capcom fans, don't want to lose that game ever again.
So what is the reason for wanting it physically? You asked the question last week, and almost like you thought about it and you let it go. But like, why do we feel that we need a physical copy?
When the whole game is literally in the disc, it is yours to kind of own.
But it's not the case anymore. It's just a key now.
It's a key, but sometimes the key comes with like enough of a lock to play the game. Like, what's a good example? Like Marvel vs. Capcom is a good example because the whole game is on the cartridge. You don't have to go fetch data to go fucking play it. With the Switch offline, I can load the game in and play it.
But that's a small game compared to...
That's also another point. When I lost power, God, it seems like fucking...
Power in it.
Both. No, sorry. When I lost internet,
I was like, you're done.
Yeah.
You got a generator?
What enjoyment of life do I have left? I didn't have internet like my.
We got these board games we can play.
No,
get the fuck out of my house.
Where's the Game Boy Color? I'm fucking scratching over here for gaming.
Man. The beauty of handhelds is that you can kind of run them at any point as long as they're charged.
Yes, to the point. I was out of internet. I'm out of fucking games unless they're all fucking in there. Like PS5, they're archived, right?
Yeah.
Well, I lost internet. What am I going to play?
We're getting
my 6 games.
We're getting so attached
to internet
or dependent,
tethered.
Yeah. If the internet goes down, you're fucked.
Yeah.
If the tower goes down, you're fucked. If the power goes down, you're definitely fucked.
Yeah, I know, right? I hope you charged everything.
It just makes it more real of how, like, if the power goes out for a week straight, there's gonna be fucking chaos.
Yeah, where the fuck is AT&T at? They are fucking like
we got solar flare. You're not gonna get power again.
Are you sure? Come on, what's in the back of that van? They're almost at the same status of electricians, like hero status. Like, oh, here to save the day. Not as much because how schemy the internet companies are, and if they fucking actually fix your to get a tech. My experience is these technicians came out here 3 times. It took them 3 times to fucking fix the problem.
And then they're gonna come between the times of 12 and 4 o'clock, and then show up at 11:30. Like, hey. I tried. Nobody was here.
Dude.
They did that with the fucking mail one time.
Oh. I remember they said the PVM?
One of them, yeah. They said that would be... It said 12 to 4. And, of course, UPS is like, we're doing a good job. We're going to get here early. Well, I was still working on base. And I was like, well, I can't just fucking leave. I scheduled my time. And then I had to wait. I had to go online, and I had to tell them to hold it, and I would go pick it up. It was a fucking mess.
I hate the days where... I remember one time I took the day off. I took the day... Or I worked from home.
And they're like, I got rescheduled.
Yeah. We got here end of day, when you're about to get out of work. Those are frustrating because I was like, I planned for this. You told me you're going to be here. You flaked on me. Am I supposed to be mad at the fucking customer rep lady?
I do have a tip. So, I do have
old cane. I have a tip.
Listen up.
Yeah. Get it.
The 20L5, which is this one right here. This is the almighty 20L5. We'll talk about more of this later. But this TV, I decided, hey, I'm gonna pull the trigger. We got a preview of the greatness of what this TV can do. So fuck it. I'm gonna spend the money, and it'll get here in a week. We'll test it out. We'll see how good it really is. It gets here, and I told Kim, "Hey, be on the lookout for the mail." And she went to take a shower. She thought, be on the lookout, like just. In case it gets here, make sure to bring it in. Well, I meant is like you got to answer the door because it's a signed delivery. And so because she didn't answer the door and she was showering,
2-hour shower,
boom, they took off. And anyways, she ended up finding them, and she worked it out. But what the driver said was, you could just leave a little love note on the door, as long as you put like your name, the order number, and you tell them to please leave it there. That you'd be right back or something. They'll take that as evidence. And drop the box off there.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah. But you take the full risk and liability of having it there.
I mean, yeah. If you're going to get a signed delivery, it's probably because it's worth a value, right? It's a high value item. But if you're working a 9-to-5 job and you can't be home,
it is a risk.
And you're okay with the risk. Mm-hmm. I mean, most people have Ring cameras.
Yes.
I think that if you leave that note and they drop it off, somebody takes it, you cannot come after UPS for insurance.
Exactly. You're not compensated because you're willing to take that liability.
Yeah.
And hey,
we have pictures of everything nowadays too, so they probably take a picture of that note, and they're.
What's funny is God, I've seen so many Amazon delivery drivers not give a fuck about their job. They're the shakiest picture ever and then go on to the next house. I mean, after doing it 1,000 times, I get it. But
I was outside one time and I'm like, oh, thank you. And she walked right by me. She was like, I'm sorry. I got to put it on the door so I could take a picture of it. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm right here.
Such a digital world. Yeah.
Take my picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, it comes with its cons of being in a digital world. You have to live in it. Digital evidence, pictures, traceabilities, cameras. I mean,
somebody is tracking all this. Some little nerds tracking news reports and running AI algorithms.
And you're going to be the one fuck that ruins the data. It's okay, we spiked here or we dipped here for some fucking reason.
They fire her. Why did you take a photo?
You were such a nice gentleman. I had a personal connection with him.
You were always at 100% to this day. Now we got to let you go.
God, things are systematic, but I guess because we wanted them that way. I mean, we caused the problem. We want things faster, better, cheaper. And the only way to do it is just to make things less connectable.
I would like to see where this box is at. If you could see, there's a reason they don't want to show us, because you can do it right now. You could probably see where this package is at and where it's driving to, because when it gets closer to your house, Amazon will kind of show you a map of your neighborhood and tell you, well, I don't give a fuck if it's in my neighborhood. I give a fuck about where it's at in the city.
Exactly. Is it fucking San Antonio? Is it Houston? You said it departed, so I have to have mental logistics.
You tracked it all the way till it got to the city, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, it's on one of those trucks. I can't help you. I think it's kind of we don't want to deal with it.
Yes, because part of it is I don't think everyone has their shit down, and FedEx can't guarantee it to every.
Those drivers do work hard though, man. That is I hear is kind of a bit of a slave job.
It is. You just keep going. You better work through the holidays because that's the fucking busiest time. It is a.
Those UPS drivers are pretty strong too, man.
Yeah, fucking look at their legs. Every UPS driver that's confident about their strength shows off their legs.
Oh yeah, I think you have to though. I don't think you wear pants.
I've seen pants.
Really?
Yeah, every time I look at a USPS,
dock your pay if you wear pants. That's part of our thing, right?
Come on.
But you're moving a lot, so you probably want shorts. You don't want to be in pants and you're trying to lift and run and move around.
I'm pretty sure there's some self-conscious prick that didn't want to show off his toothpick legs. UPS has a standard of quads and calves.
Long black socks all the way to here.
Why are they to your mid calf? Stockings?
Yeah.
Oh, what a slut. Wearing shorts and stockings. They're compression socks.
Socks up to here and shorts up to here.
You have a 1-inch gap.
He's wearing white boots. What the hell's going on?
White boots. No, I have the chunky black boots already kind of mentally pictured for a UPS driver. Anyways, point is, I think they work hard, and I don't think they have enough of a system. They're just throwing shit in a box.
I don't think they have AC either, and
it depends what truck you get.
The Postal Service, they're even worse. They've been driving those those knockoff Jeeps for
on the right hand of the fucking vehicle. Like
those things are like 50 years old, man.
Yeah,
and they're just like
they were meant for
underpowered. Can't go on the highway. No.
They can't go on the highway.
I don't. I've never seen one of those on the highway.
It's just I gotta get home. Yeah, that's the only way. I'm over the bridge.
Hey, that would be a good little party truck. Just to tear it up, take it to the beach, and just.
A truck I want is, did I tell you, the little tiny Toyota truck? The
Samurais?
No, they're like Japanese or tiny little white pickup.
I've seen some from Japan that they will like ship to you, almost like they're that small.
Yes, that one.
They're like $3,000. They're older, but the tailgates.
They're a pickup.
All of the sides come down.
Really, that's cool.
Yeah. So, like, if you want to a flatbed, you can just open up all of
That's cool. Just throw some shit on the
Yeah.
I saw one at work, and I got excited.
Yeah.
It was at a mechanic shop, and I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I was there. And then one of the mechanics that was working on it, the real engineer, the guy that knows what the fuck's going on in there.
And he's not an engineer. He just knows more.
Yeah, he does. Just working on it. Anyways, I got excited about the truck, and he was like, truck sucks to work on, though. And I was like, oh, man, don't say that. He was like, well, and then he started considering it, because I was like, oh, I got excited because, small pickup, not a lot of space, throw shit in the back, and it's cheap.
Simple.
Simple. And he was like, maybe it's just this one that's fucked up a lot. Like, like he started thinking, and I was like, either he was being nice or he hated that particular truck too much because he worked on it for so long.
Older things also tend to, they're a little bit underpowered, but they're simpler. And nowadays the vehicles are so
every advanced, fucking sensor, every fucking chip,
so much computers, and the same thing with gaming. Like you can take apart an old console and fix it. It's very I don't know if I have the confidence to take apart. I don't even want to open up a PS5.
Or it's not worth it. It's not worth it unless it's like this collector's edition that needs to somehow get repaired and get brought back to its $2,000-$3,000 value.
Do you remember CRT's HDMI port?
Mm-hmm.
I think he said he spent like almost $300. They had to open it up and fix it, right? And that thing, PS5 is.
I mean, technically
$500-$600. So.
Yeah, I was like, technically that's cheaper, but one, you waited a while to get it back.
Yeah,
and. I don't know. It's fucking. I don't know the right answer to that, but it's like, oh, you're pretty close to just a new PS5, and you could just sell it, or no, it wouldn't be worth it.
Maybe worth trying to fix it yourself and going and buy another one.
Maybe depends how hard.
Once you get the new one,
yeah,
you're gonna be like, fuck that old one.
I mean, that's how it happened with the new TV I got, the Olympus I tried to fix. Once I got the M4, I was like, I really don't care.
Now I don't have a need.
No, exactly. I got my main bitch over here. Why am I gonna bother fixing her up? So many problems.
Yeah,
baggage,
missing legs and shit. I gotta fix her legs.
I can't fix that.
That's out of my skill set.
Lost cause.
But if you had to figure it out, you probably could. It's just a lot of time and dedication to get this thing up and running.
Sorry, I was trying to go back to a point about that fucking truck and being simple. The Murano, my transmission going out.
Yeah.
And to the point, if it's simpler things, simpler to fix.
Yeah.
Still don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. It could be XYZ sensor, but.
And so I bring it up with in mind, like, what should we prepare for with these today's modern consoles that will soon be.
What problems are they going to fix?
What kind of problems are we going to have next?
Oh, problems? What problems are we going to create? Like the storage thing.
They're just getting so much harder to fix. It's becoming kind of like the washer and dryer. You added all this technology to it, and now when it breaks, I'm like, fuck it. Like
buy a new one.
Am I just at that point where we're just going to buy new shit?
Basic washer and dryer does enough.
Mechanical, but. Are you gonna say that to gaming?
No. Yes, I get the point. The bells and whistles of a new washer and dryer, when you see it like fucking beeping and booping.
It's more of like a marketing scheme.
It is.
Like you walk by it, oh, that's a beautiful color. Oh, that will look really good. And I'm like, it's going in a room and nobody can see it.
And you're not gonna look forward to using it.
What kind of asshole are you? Like, hey guests, come to this room. Look how pretty they are.
It's got windows. We can watch.
Yeah. They make some weird noise. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's neat. It goes into the neat category.
Yeah, hella throwaway money. Like pointless.
Yes. If you have it, cool, I guess, but nobody cares. I love my simple washer dryer. I'm just happy I got one. Yes, just top loader and front loader. Like,
I would actually consider buying one of those. I forgot what they're called. Something McQueen.
I would actually suggest to go further back.
Go way back. Those boards never break.
Reliable. Simple to fix.
And you get strong.
Oh, ow. Just, ow.
Back, bro.
Triceps. Point. What are you trying to reference?
You threw me off, but
simple. I'm over here thinking like I'm peddling for a washer
with the belt.
I'm just fucking there
on your phone.
There's a disconnect. Why are you working this? But you have a smartphone. I don't want to skimp out on the.
I ain't going all the way.
About the dryer. How do we clothesline?
Yeah, the dryer, you go old school. You just hang it on the.
That one is hanging on pretty tame. Shit. I got fucking.
Nah, I was just saying commercial. Fuck this point.
That's where my mind went.
Like, what are you doing? Oh, just washing clothes this week.
Why are your legs so jacked? Dude. High speed.
Hey, have you seen that bodybuilder? He cycles. He does hella weight on squats. But he cycles. And his quads are freaking massive.
I've seen one guy. I don't know why I followed him on Instagram, but
we know why.
Huge, inspired, huge black dude, like genetically gifted quads, and then he starts cycling, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's like
fast!"
Yeah. Why is this so easy? Got the genetics already worked out. Quads has lower body down.
Yeah, you're done. You get the genetics, you're done.
Have you seen like people that cycle like professionally? They just have fucking quads.
Soccer players,
rugby players, fucking quads, dude. Built. Don't want to ever get kicked by one of them.
Yeah. Don't try to push them over.
Spartan kicks you fucking across. All right, washer took me out. That was a dumb idea. I'll revisit some. I got an idea. My washer broke, but I can tie this bike to this belt.
Moving
on. Okay, simple. Consoles advancing, evolution. How much more problems are we going to create?
We're going to have a shitload of problems. I think we're just going to. What's the next generation going to do? Like, these things the old consoles were built like tanks compared to these things now.
HDMI just wiggled out of place.
Yeah, so many little pins and everything's just getting smaller. Remember that video where they just zoom into like a nano chip?
Yes,
and it just keeps going.
City within city within city.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I think we're kind of getting close to it.
Would that be the solution to memory, maybe?
Yeah, you just keep going. But then these fuckers keep adding and not compressing their fucking data. Way back in college, I took like a fucking technical course in something. Anyways, it had to deal with like matrices and math and adding computer. You mix computer science with math. Well, anyways, this guy sounded pretty legit. Asian dude struggling English, but his deal was because we were doing some coding, and he's like the number one objective is to always compress. And I was like, compress? So go smaller in the data. And I was just like, that's almost backwards back then.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you want things to grow and get complicated and flourish. And then I was like, now, adult brain, I'm like, yes, fucking compress. Get that shit, that 100 gigabyte file, and compress it to something around 50.
Yeah.
But it takes work because you got to clean up. Like, it's like you overcomplicated it and you didn't go back and clean up all the unseen shit. Like, you're rendering a whole ass model that you can't even see. All you got to do is model the front.
So, like, there's renders on renders, maybe some that you started off with, but you never got rid of them.
Exactly. It just compiles. You never cleaned up your work. You're just rushing to get to the finish line.
Yeah.
And you did no cleanup work to compress.
Well, do you think that some of that is also so that they can use it as future reference? But, I mean, you could save that separately, right?
Yes, you can save that, compress it, and have a file that originates and pulls from. We do it at work too. We have a huge file, a model that has everything detailed. That's super useful.
Yeah.
But fucking loading that bitch and then saving it and then fucking it sucks.
But isn't it crazy how like social media sites, basically any platform will allow you to dump anything into it, right? Today's social media, you can dump photos, videos, messages, and you can go back and use it as a
storage.
And I think there's a lot of people that actually do that. They're like, I don't want to look for this later. Let me just put it on here.
Fucking post it.
It's a memory. I'm done. I can go back to it later whenever I feel like it.
If you still have that profile, if they don't fucking kick you out.
But YouTube is another one. So in making these videos, even though they're still, they're running 1080,
dude,
I'm still like uploading gigs
somewhere in a fucking desert. They have a fucking mansion full of servers,
and this is not like research, science, and development. This is just fucking two guys yapping about some stupid shit.
Fucking washers,
and we're like fucking washers. And somebody's got to now store this information because somebody might view it.
Fucking stupid. It's fucking $1 million computer storing this fucking
and
shit.
Everybody's just dumping everything. Oh, like that's a good one.
Can you imagine we're polluting the world enough as it is. How much are we digitally polluting, I guess?
And we just started.
Yeah. We're dumping each other. I was like, how
this
much?
This is a 30-year problem.
Until we see it become?
No. Like, since people have been like putting massive amounts of data into the system, wherever the system is at. Like you said, somewhere in a desert, somewhere in a far beyond place that most people don't live at.